Celebrity Trump supporters. They're out there.
Bumping dicks. It's not just for gay men anymore.
And 25% of people who go to the gym have sex there. Find out who today on The Point. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. I have a couple of exciting announcements today. First of all, I know you're sitting there watching the show on YouTube, but we have an exciting announcement. We are now on iTunes. We are now downloadable, yes.
Yes.
We are now downloadable as an audio version on iTunes. So all you have to do is go to the iTunes store, search The Point, and subscribe. And it'll automatically be downloaded to your phone and your tablet and all that good stuff. So that's very exciting, a new development there.
It's called a podcast.
It's called a podcast.
It's a podcast.
That's what they are.
Yes, but we
And
now
make
have
sure
a
you
podcast.
click on our logo because there are others, and one is like a church.
Yes, yes.
We're not allowed in that one.
Yes. Yeah, there are other shows like on variations of our name, but we are The
Different kind
Point.
of preaching.
So just look for the Point logo, which is right here behind us.
It's also an exciting day because we have two guest co-hosts today since Ori and Matt are off doing their performance things. We have back with us fitness expert Nathan Mason.
Hey. Thank you.
And we also have with us Kerolos Saleib. And he is the man or one of the men, or is it just you?
It's just me, I'm the founder.
You're the founder of Arabian Knights.
Yes.
And what exactly, I'll just ask, what is Arabian Knights?
So Arabian Knights LGBTQ is a not-for-profit organization that started in February of this year. The concept came, there is a Facebook group for the gay Middle Eastern men of Toronto, and they were talking about wanting to start a party. And one of them said, oh, we could rent, a party room. And I was there, I was like, oh my God, no, let me jump into this. So I decided to jump in because I have the experience in event planning and party planning, and advertising. So I decided I'm gonna take it on. But then I also realized that there's a big need for the LGBTQ Middle Eastern community. So I decided to turn it into a not-for-profit organization. So pretty much the money that comes in is meant to help a lot of the Middle Eastern LGBTQ community accept their faith and their sexuality, help a lot of the LGBTQ refugees find jobs or pay for English classes for them, find them a safe home if they need to, HIV/AIDS education. So there's a huge variety of things, very focused on the Middle Eastern culture, religious aspect of things, spiritual aspect of things. And that's what it's pretty much about.
Cool. Does it have? I'm just fascinated. Sorry to sort of hijack this conversation, but is it difficult to try to reconcile their sexuality and their faith?
Absolutely.
Because they seem to be very opposing from what I understand.
Well, very much so. I mean, I grew up in Canada all my life, and even here, growing up Coptic Orthodox Christian, it was a huge fight for me.
But you're originally from?
From Egypt. Yeah, I was born in Egypt. We arrived in Canada in '87. You'd think that by the time I came out that my parents would be accepting and so on, but it wasn't the case. So it was very hard for me to accept both. And at a certain point, I just decided I hate religion. I hate everything about religion. But as I got older and, developed more emotionally, and be more self-confident in myself, I realized that you could actually still have both, but there's a way of doing it.
But you had an interesting experience with your parents, correct?
Yes. So the way it all started, I was 15. I went into confession and I told the priest, by the way, I'm gay, and I've known it since I was 5. He decided to go tell my parents. So he outed me to my parents, and he encouraged my parents to kick me out. No,
That's not cool at all.
he encouraged my parents to kick me out of the house, forced me into conversion therapy, which didn't work, obviously. So all this stuff, and it led me on a darker path eventually, where I ended up being homeless at a certain point. But that was 15 that it happened. I was kicked out of the house and had to kind of figure out my life on my own. It's kind of a blessing in disguise. It's an awful blessing, but a good blessing at the same time, if you could get what I'm trying to say about that, because then it allowed me to be who I am today and to do what I'm doing today.
It's interesting, you mentioned how faith played a role in this. You're originally from Egypt. You're running this organization for LGBTQ Middle Easterners.
Yes.
The assumption would be that you're Muslim.
Yes, that happens very often.
But you're not Muslim.
No.
So
There's a little bit of an assumption when I asked that question.
Yeah.
I
I didn't talk to you at all before the show started.
So I'm wondering how that sort of plays out within the LGBT community, but also in the greater community. I mean,
within the LGBTQ community, the Middle Eastern community, they know I'm Egyptian. They'll be, by my name, they're able to tell that I'm Coptic Orthodox. That's how I grew up. But outside of the Middle Eastern community, it's very often, they start talking to me about Islam and so on. I'm like, I'm not Muslim. They're like, what? How is that possible? I'm like, well, let me give you a bit of a history lesson.
Well, how is that possible?
Exactly. So, but they're like, but you speak Arabic and so on. I'm like, well, Arabic was kind of imposed on the Egyptians, which was predominantly Christian. And then prior to being fully Christian, they were pagans, right? The Pharaonic times. And so a lot of people, it allows me to educate people so I don't get offended. However, when I lived in DC, in Washington, D.C., I got ordained as an Anglican priest. So I had left religion, came back to religion.
Really came back to
Yes, and I was a full-time pastor there. And there was one time I was on the metro in my full priest garb, my cassock, I had the collar, cross.
The big cross.
Everything.
Right.
And literally a couple saw me on the metro and immediately like, oh my God, a terrorist on the metro, and they didn't come on. I was like, like this is even with this, it doesn't make a difference. So it's something that happens constantly, and it's fine.
So
I would have thought they'd be like, oh God, a priest.
Well, that's what happened when I came into Toronto. Actually, the gay community was more like, oh God, a priest. I'm like,
because I thought your story could have also been, I said to the priest that I was gay, and the priest said, me too.
Yeah, me out back, right?
Your event planning, you're planning youth group.
Sorry?
You were planning youth groups.
Prior to Arabian Knights, you mean?
No, like you said, you have planning experience.
Yes, so it was actually, I used to do a lot of events for when I worked in advertising. So it was more like advertising events and so on.
Many lives.
Yes. I had to kind of go through
Haven't
loops.
we all?
Yeah.
Like when you have to come out of the closet. I mean, this is, when you have to come out of the closet, in a certain way, you do lead many lives.
Yeah.
I'm curious though. We're still living, in the basque of Trump being the president-elect.
Still,
yes.
Oh, God.
What was your reaction to? I mean, a lot of his xenophobia is it's Islamophobia, but it's if you're from the Middle East, you get wrapped up in that. So I was just wondering what your reaction was to what happened. And then you lived in Washington.
Yeah, I mean, living in Washington, I never used to be involved in politics until I lived in DC. My church, we were a big activist church, very activist church, and we actually got recognized by the White House for it, and it was incredible. But it taught me a lot about politics. So because of that, I got really involved into politics this time, and seeing Trump winning, I was in disbelief, but at the same time, I understood why it happens.
Why?
Well, a lot of people went into the comfort zone of thinking, Hillary's going to win it. I don't need to go out there, or so on.
So complacency was a big problem.
Yeah, exactly. So that plays a huge role, and I've experienced that when I was living in Washington, D.C. During the midterm elections of Obama. You've seen people do it, and you're there, you're like, stop, like you need to go out there. But people just they don't want to. So it was a shock. It was a shock for me to see Trump win after all.
So what do you say then to? I mean, here you're running an organization that's helping LGBTQ Middle Easterners. There is so much now. This has given license to people. We've seen the reports of women's hijabs being torn off and epithets being thrown around. What's your advice? What do you say to people who are now living in fear? And
you want to know what? I've been getting a lot of phone calls after the election from friends crying. It's been very emotional for me too, to hear some of their stories and the fear that they're going through. And it was very hard for me at first to find out what to tell them. But then I found it empowering, because it made me realize, I'm like, you know what? You need to fight. It's not over. What happened happened. It's still not over. So, I constantly remind them that this is kind of history repeating itself. The younger generation have a tendency of thinking, oh, the generation before us fought, we don't need to worry about it. Wrong. And this is where I kind of use that to make them realize your fight is not over. You have a bigger purpose in life. You're able to do that. This is what you have to learn from this. And I understand if you live in fear, find a group that you will feel secure with, stay together, keep in touch with each other, and this is what you have to do right now. I mean, it's not the best solution. It's not necessarily going to take the full fear away, but you can't live in the fear.
Yeah, I mean, there was stuff going on over the last few weeks about his proposed Muslim ban, Trump's proposed Muslim ban, and after he won the election, it was taken off the website. Well, it turns out that was in error, and now it's back.
An error.
In error, and now the Muslim ban is back on the website, and so that's now, he says, going to be policy of the administration.
Maybe he meant to say a Muslim van, and it was just like a really obscure reference to his infrastructure and transit plans.
Yes, yeah. Or it's like a Scooby-Doo van with, I mean, you live in Canada now. I mean, even though you're not Muslim,
it scares me.
It's the brown people.
The association.
It's the black and the brown people and the gay people and all. So what do you say to people around the world who used to look at? I mean, under Obama, they saw it as a beacon, and now they see it as.
It's scary. It's very, very scary, because even me, like here in Canada, after the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting, I got followed by cops. So it doesn't matter when, if someone tries to say, what worries me a lot about this is that if some white supremacists decide to attack a Middle Eastern individual, assuming that they're Muslim because they have a beard, just like I would, and they're like, no, I'm Christian, kind of thing, they'll be like, oh no, you're Muslim, whatever, you're lying. So I don't even know what to think of that right now. I'm still processing this, and I'm not sure what to say to be honest.
I've never heard of people on the right pointing to a black or brown Christian and saying, no, you're Muslim, and we know you're Muslim because you were born in Kenya. I don't think they've ever done that with anybody.
Never.
Never.
Oh no, they haven't, and that's what drives me nuts, because a lot of the internal terrorists within the U.S. were white who decided, I'm gonna go with ISIS and be an ISIS supporter. So it's kind of, what do you do with those people then?
The problem is there's a disconnect right there, right? Where they're not realizing that not all Muslim people speak for all Muslim people. No. You know what I mean? But they don't see that. They don't recognize that. So, but when it is sort of like a fucking crazy white guy who goes in and murders a bunch of people or whatever and creates this terrorist attack. Yeah, it's like, well, that's not all white guys. It's just this one particular person. But they don't seem to realize that they connect that in their head, but they don't connect it when it's not them.
No, and the reason being is because, Islam, just like Christianity, that has different roots. different sides to it. Christianity, you have the evangelicals who are the terrorists of Christianity in the U.S. I'm not going to hide that. The Bible Belt, they're crazy. They're delusional. I've dealt with them, and at a certain point, I had to actually give up trying to do anything with them because it's their way or no way. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, you're more extremist than an actual Muslim who is kind and nice. And I've always told a lot of other Christians that it's like, I'm sorry, but some Muslims are more Christian than you and I will ever be. So it's
crazy
insane.
times we live in.
Yeah, I mean, there was a situation at the Black Eagle here, for instance, a guy who grew up, in India, grew up Christian. People mistake him for Muslim. He attacked, my friend is Muslim. We were at the bar and he attacked him. He said, because of you, people think I'm Muslim. I'm like, this is happening right now. Like, this is happening.
Well, we're not the only people talking about Donald Trump.
Nope.
And now, it's Tito's Midpoint.
Make us laugh, Tito.
Yes. Break it up.
I don't know if I can actually with these.
Make us laugh.
All right, so this week we're playing Pointing Fingers. So this week it's going to be tweets, and they're celebrity tweets, and everyone has to kind of guess who said it, basically.
Who tweeted?
Who tweeted that?
Who tweeted
Okay.
this.
So
It's all election related. It's all reactions about, of course, Trump becoming that thing.
Okay.
All right,
number
so
one.
first tweet. I watched Frozen without my 2-year-old this morning. Despair reveals itself in many forms. So this is an actor.
Jeez.
A Canadian actor, actually.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yep, it's him.
Well, he yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Next, we have Gonna Miss Obama. Maybe this country needs a Trump presidency to see just how good we had it and took it for granted. # God bless the USA.
Katy Perry.
No. This is a black older actress.
I was gonna say Yvette Nicole
Viola
Brown.
Davis.
No.
Ooh, good try though.
But they were in a movie together, I think.
Vanessa Williams?
No.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Okay.
Who.
So it was Octavia Spencer.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
All right.
would have never guessed that.
Next, we have
Just saying.
simply a true American horror story.
Ryan Murphy.
No.
Lady Gaga.
No. It's a gay actor who is actually in American Horror Story, but it was Cheyenne Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Is that the guy we put that topless photo in that episode a few episodes ago?
No.
But he's hot though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get a photo of Cheyenne Jackson up on the screen just to make us feel better.
Does nobody watch
okay?
American Horror Story?
Just
No.
get the photo on
What?
there. Okay,
I have
move on.
PTSD. I'm not watching this.
I just gave our editor a little bit more work to do, but
All right, maybe this is rock bottom and there's nowhere to go but up. Another white actress. Red hair.
Jessica Chastain.
Amy Adams.
She's funny. She's a funny girl. She was in Mean Girls.
Lindsay Lohan? I feel like Rachel McAdams?
No, wait.
Do you know what red hair is?
Exactly.
Well,
Red
I'm
hair
pretty sure
and
Wait a minute.
girls.
Amanda Seyfried is
Oh, she's
She doesn't have
blonde.
red hair.
blonde.
She's blonde.
She's a strawberry blonde, okay? It's close
Oh,
to that.
oh, reach.
I'll
That's
do
not a
something to
real
your
thing.
strawberry. Go.
Strawberry blonde. That's
What are these
redhead.
colors?
I was at a TIFF premiere and Amanda Seyfried walked about 2.5 feet away from me. It was pretty exhilarating.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
What color was her hair?
It was blonde.
Okay, so for the editor's
her as a
sake,
redhead.
let's get a picture of Amanda Seyfried right there. Okay, good. Make all the straight guys feel better.
I kind of
Okay.
see her as a Little Mermaid, so I see her with like red hair. That's probably why.
Okay, next.
Next, congratulations to my friend at Real Donald Trump. An astonishing achievement. # president.
Caitlyn Jenner.
No, Barack Obama.
Michelle Obama.
No.
Taylor Swift.
No.
One of the Baldwins.
Is it?
Oh, Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin,
Yeah, Stephen
yes.
Baldwin was
He was big on that.
or,
No.
no, Chachi.
No.
Scott Baio.
Chachi.
Chachi.
Scott Baio.
He's too young to
Is
know
it
what
the
a
same guy?
chachi
He
is.
spoke.
Is it the
Scott
PayPal
Baio
guy?
was the actor who played Chachi.
Oh,
The
He's-
Chachi
PayPal
what?
guy.
And
Clint
news.
Eastwood.
He's a news anchor.
Why is a
think he
news
has a
anchor
podcast.
tweeting
Yeah,
that
no,
out?
no.
Pierce? No.
Yes.
Pierce Morgan?
Pierce
Yeah.
Morgan did it?
Definitely not Anderson.
Oh.
Hey, Pierce
my
Morgan's also
gosh.
not a news anchor.
No,
Let's-
he's just a buffoon. Okay, next.
I
Just a buffoon.
feel like America just sent in our tuition check for Trump University. This is an R&B male singer.
John Legend.
Yep.
Good call.
What?
You know more about any of those songs than I
Not
do.
R&B men.
I don't know. Isn't it all the same?
No, hip hop and
Oh
R&B are
yeah,
different.
no, that's. I was
Oh my
thinking.
God, you're
hip-hop.
so racist.
Wow.
I'm not racist.
That was very
You are not
stereotyping.
allowed to watch Hamilton.
Stereotyping on me.
The hate tweets I'm getting based on trying to promote unity in spite of division is a perfect example of how his hate has already affected us.
Katy Perry.
Stop saying Katy
Well,
Perry.
because she
No,
was a...
say Katy Perry because I love Katy.
White blonde actress. Funny.
Amanda Seyfried.
No.
She's blonde.
Amy Schumer.
She was
Amy
just
Schumer.
in. She was just in Bad Moms with Mila Kunis.
Bad mom.
Oh,
She's
Christina
in
Applegate.
The Good Place. No.
Oh, Kristen Bell.
Could you make a Mila Kunis?
She's in The Good Place.
Oh, Bell.
I already said
Wait,
it.
are
I didn't
you
hear
already
it.
guess it?
Kirsten Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen
Okay.
You didn't
Bell.
hear.
We got time for one more.
No, we don't. Moving on.
Choose one. These are hard.
Okay. Congratulations, Donald Trump, for your stunning victory over your opponent. Looking forward to making America great again.
Oh, I don't care. It's just disgusting.
That's ridiculous.
Male actor, action movies back in the day.
Arnold.
No.
Steven
Arnold was against
Steven
it.
Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Yes.
Didn't Steven Seagal just get made a Russian citizen by
Yeah,
Vladimir Putin?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. That just happened.
Do you know the top diplomat in Russia actually came out and said that they did have discussions with the Trump campaign, even though the Trump campaign said that they didn't have discussions with the. So there you go. That's the state of the world today. Thank you, Tito, for today's midpoint.
All right.
And now for something completely different, because we need to lighten things up. Something lighter. Okay, Nathan, you work at a gym. You've worked in many gyms for many years. A new survey has come out polling 2,000 people. It says that 25% of participants in the survey admitted to having had sex at their gym. Even the people who weren't actually getting down in the steam room were at the very least thinking about it or hoping that it might. And 70% of women who answered the poll reported that they had considered having sex with their personal trainers. 66 of people overall cited the very possibility of sex at the gym as factoring into their decision to work out. And 1 in 10 people who go to the gym bring a condom with them just in case it happens.
Don't you mean sex with a guy named Jim?
No.
No? Okay. I just want to make sure that's not just sort of a miscommunication in the polling.
No,
on
and
this.
but what interests me is that there's, of course, the joke about gay men hooking up in the locker room. But this is men and women. So this
that
is
a
straight
joke?
people.
I can't picture it as a woman thing. I mean, you think of a women's change room, you think of like them just having pillow fights or like trying to undo each other's bra with one hand. I don't think you don't think of like
Why would there be pillows in the change room?
I don't know. Just my own. You don't think of like a woman standing like a Captain Morgan stance, like eating a ham sandwich, like letting it all hang
And
out.
this is from a
get
guy
out.
who works
Don't
in
think
a
of that.
gym. Like this
You
is
just don't
an
think of it like
authority
that.
speaking on what happens.
It's locker room talk.
Yeah, that's complete
locker room talk.
That's
No,
complete locker room talk.
Wait, so how are straight women how would they want to bring their trainers into their change
I don't
room?
know. This is what I don't understand, and this is why
like a
I'm
different
asking.
meaning of,
I'm
like,
asking the
stretching,
gym
yeah.
expert here.
From the trainer female member, I mean, it's you're getting some stretching, you're doing some things. I mean, things happen. I guess.
sure are doing
Yeah, but you're
I don't know.
okay. You're not gonna have
Probably
sex on the
not where I work, but I
floor.
Are they having sex in the male change room or the female change room? Because, the female change room, usually an issue. Male change room, less
What's
of an
more
issue.
easier?
acceptable.
What's
Usually.
easier to smuggle through?
I think it's easier to smuggle in the men's change room, definitely. I mean,
Yeah, because it's
I mean,
just...
You can smuggle a woman into the men's change
Yeah,
room.
no,
man on man. Like,
No, but
No,
this
I'm
is
saying-
straight sex.
Wait, I'm talking about straight.
oh man,
This
I don't
is
know.
straight sex.
It's probably in the bathroom. I guess like there's
So where
maybe
was this
maybe the bathrooms on the
conducted,
gym
though?
floor. I guess I don't know.
So I have to ask, where was this research
This was
conducted.
actually in the UK.
Steamworks.
Okay, so in the
Steamworks.
It was a Steamworks survey.
because that actually
It was
makes
a really- yeah,
that
there's
actually
10
makes a
of
big
the, of the
difference.
10 women, 7 of the women actually considered having sex.
No, so the reason why I'm asking because that makes a difference. In Europe, co-op change rooms is very.
Co-saunas.
Oh, really? They have co-ed change?
Yes,
they
the
have
co-ed change rooms are
Co-saunas,
very common.
co-steam
so
rooms.
even steam
Really?
rooms and so on. So that's very different in the US.
So the logistics are a lot easier
Yeah.
to sort out.
exactly.
You can get that stuff done.
That's why I
a lot
asked that
simpler,
question
yeah.
because when I was in Europe, I remember seeing that I was like, what?
Seeing that
Wait, you
because
saw it happen?
were you a part
So,
of this?
yeah, like it. So
Oh shit!
Oh, okay,
Breaking news.
okay.
Hashtag.
what happens in Turkey stays in Turkey. No, but
It's a different country.
You got
no, but it's part of
Getting
Europe
hashtag
anyway.
getting
But
stuffed in
it's but
Getting stuffed in turkey. We are coming up to Thanksgiving.
It's a turkey.
yeah.
We're past
So
Thanksgiving.
no, but it's those co-ed gyms. I've seen it happen. Like
You've seen like straight sex getting it on, and
no, like the guy or the girl just end up hiding away and so on, or they try to flirt with each other, cruise each other there in the steam room or so on. Like it happens.
Much
Like, I
easier
mean,
over there than if they can both get in the steam room or the sauna, right? Much easier.
Exactly. So it
We're
does
living in the
happen.
wrong place.
And you gotta remember, in the UK, the gyms over there, it's not like the showers. It's not like stalls with curtains like in most gyms here. Over there, they're private, like rooms, pretty much where.
Oh, so you have like
So
it's very private.
It's very private. So those gyms, you're able to go into those rooms with someone easily.
So if anybody in the UK wants to sponsor a press junket so we can investigate this more, please contact us, thepointguys@gmail.com. On the same tip,
Hashtag stuffed in turkey.
hashtag stuffed in turkey, on the same tip as sex in the gym, the Chicago Cubs recently won the World Series. And
Yay. Congrats.
Amazing. Amazing.
well, like the curse of the goat is over or something
108
like that.
years or whatever.
It's the curse of the goat. But two of the players on the Cubs team, to celebrate the winning home run, did what is now being called the junk bump. Right? First, guys, like it became a thing to do that, the fist bump. Then it was the chest bump, right? Like that. And we can't quite.
Gordon, you're gonna do this next example with him.
Yes. So they actually bumped their uglies. Like they jumped up and their crotches went like.
Oh, with clothes on.
With clothes on.
Both
Was it
wearing
like?
cups though. They're
How
both
do they
wearing
know?
cups. So
How do they
Yeah,
know it wasn't
that's
just a
exact-
pelvis
You know what I mean?
punch?
I
Why did it
think-
have
I
to
think
be
that's
like
the
a?
thing.
They got the cups on. They want to make the noise. You know what I mean? I mean, I play
and I think
baseball.
that's what
I'm
it
always
is.
walking around going. You got a cup
That's
on,
what
right?
you do when you play
Absolutely.
baseball.
You're sitting on the bench. You're like, check it out.
I really do
When you
not
got the cup
understand
on?
the sport at all.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to do this stuff. I mean, you're eating sunflower seeds. You got some tobacco in there. It's fantastic.
And just some people
the
get
American
funny with
pastime.
it. It's
I grew
so
up in the
fun.
States as these things happen, right? You know, it's,
Gordon,
What?
you looked like you were going to say
Please
something.
comment on this.
You were confused. Yes, but this
Well, you'd
is
have to ask
clothed.
me a question,
This
really.
is clothed and there. But is this like the new thing? Is this what straight men do now?
No.
They junk their bump. I mean, they bump their junk to
Touch
celebrate.
their tips.
yeah.
They touch just the tip.
Touch the tips. They dock. No, they
They
don't.
dock. They dick. Their dock.
Oh my God. Where is this going?
No, but like I don't. This is something I've never understood.
docking is
This
a
is
thing.
something that I've never understood about like straight men camaraderie, like the bumping junk and even the chest bumping and the snapping of the towels on the butt. It's like it's so homoerotic, and yet you're all straight. Like I don't get it.
It's almost animalistic, like male dominance. So the fact when they won doing that, it's like the peak of manhood dominance, just like.
But
Yeah.
they're not
Dicks
dominating.
just
Yeah,
go
the
with
two,
this.
it's like
Dick
the
hit
two
this out of
things
the
coming
park.
together.
Yeah, it's
My
like,
dude
know,
get a home run.
It's like, yeah, your wife is mine now. It's like,
But
It's just super dick.
it's
right?
super dick.
Yeah,
What is
'cause
it like
two
a
dicks.
superhero? It's
Hashtag
super
super
dick.
dick.
Yeah.
Hashtag super dick.
Hold on, I want to hear about
You
super
ruined
dick
that.
here.
What's a super dick?
What the fuck? I don't know about super dick.
Didn't you just say something about super
One
dick?
dick and another dick,
Mild
so two
mannered,
dicks, super dick.
I just call it a
I'll
sword.
mail
Like, I don't even know
journalist
about
by
this.
day.
Story
I
time.
would
He
say
fights
about
crime.
that in baseball. Baseball's like super masculine, right? To compare it to like hip hop, right? If Young Thug can say, "I'm smoking penises," right? Which is obviously
oral sex.
Yeah. Then I feel like two men could touch cups. I wouldn't do it. You know, it's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Not a cup toucher.
But if that's your thing, then you don't rock with it.
Okay. well, thank you. That was very insightful.
We covered a lot of good stuff there.
We did. Okay, it's time for end points. Actually, give us a little background cup bongo.
Well, like a. Should I do like romantic? Like. No, not so much.
That is actually Tito's bop of the week.
That's it, right there.
Nathan's cup
He finished.
too.
Yeah, he finished.
Kiro, Arabian Nights.
On iTunes.
Where
It's a
can
podcast.
people find you online?
Facebook page, Arabian Knights LGBTQ. Knights is with a K. We have the website, ArabianKnightsLGBTQ.com. We also have the Instagram page, AKLGBTQ. And finally, if you want to reach us by email, it's info@ArabianKnightsLGBTQ.com.
Cool. And Nathan, if people have questions about fitness or sex at the gym, how can they find you?
Exactly. Junk bumping, of course.
And junk bumping,
Yeah. Just you can check me out on Instagram at Nathan H. Mason. You can find me there.
There you go. And Tito, your bop of the week.
Yeah, Bob of the Week this week is BB Rexha's I Got You.
I like BB Rexa.
She just hosted the EMAs 2 weeks ago, and she performed it live for the first time. She's amazing.
Cool. Well, thank you, Tito, and thank you, everybody. Now, remember, if you like us, make sure you give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our crowdfunding page, of course, is on Patreon at patreon.com/thepointguys. Please, 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 if you like us, support us. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, like us on Facebook. We're at The Point Guys. And for all things The Point, visit our website.
And the podcast.
Yes, I'm getting there.
Just get faster.
I'm getting. But now you slowed me down.
Oh my God.
Visit our website at thepointguys.net. Follow us, share on social media this show. We're on iTunes, our audio podcast. Search iTunes for The Point. Look for our logo. You can join us weekly. Is this fast enough? We have a new show.
Slow it down just like 5%.
Now you're screaming.
The video
Yeah,
podcast is not a thing, man. It's just
Calm down.
podcast.
Calm down.
We have a new show online every Tuesday. This is my classical music voice. We have a new show online every Tuesday, so we will... What?
Frasier.
What?
It's your Frasier.
Oh, Frasier. It's my Frasier voice. We're going overtime this week, and it's all your fault.
Not really.
New show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.
Point.